Hi, welcome to my presentation of my own developed module named PHP OPENBRAVO POS. This is my first video and I hope you will appreciate my way of presentation. PHP OPENBRAVO POS includes Advanced Inventory Management, a supplier module with context details and daily suppliers accounting management. A very important tool is Basic Invoice Management. Also, this module includes many tools of undo operations done in OPENBRAVO POS, which probably I will pay more attention at my future videos. So, the presentation contains with personal business background, mainly PHP OPENBRAVO POS, which was developed on my own business needs. I will share with my own experience of OPENBRAVO POS integration. I will talk about the insufficiencies of inventory management from OPENBRAVO POS software, what was the key reason to develop my module. Then, before discussing about advanced inventory management, I will shortly present the installation process in order to clarify all changes reflected in the database. And I will do a live presentation of the module in order to underline the advantages and differences between OPENBRAVO POS software and the PHP module. I have a small business. It is a small shop which has several selling departments like food and non-food departments, alcohol and non-alcohol departments, and tobacco department. I have 3 employees. One is a shop manager whose responsibilities are to control the activity of sellers, to collect financial information for the accountant, who I am outsourcing for preparation of financial reports, to deal with salaries and taxes like income tax, annual commercial tax. I need to mention that my shop is not VAT payer. That is why in my module I have excluded operations with taxes. The main employees are sellers. One operates in the morning shift and the second one during the afternoon shift. Their responsibilities are to sell products to the customers, to receive products from suppliers, to pay off invoices from suppliers and to register new products in database, to keep the working place clean. Concluding this slide, the main users of OPENBRAVO POS in my business are sellers. Generally speaking, my business operates like in the image you can see in this slide. There are over 20 suppliers which provide their products to my shop. Orders usually are done by phone calls from both sides. The payoffs of invoices provided by the suppliers are mainly cash paid. According to agreement with every supplier, the term of payoff might differ, from pay off the invoices on delivery to crediting the invoices for a couple of weeks. My shop also offers products in credit to our long-term loyal customers. There are over 300 of customers who are eligible for crediting within a month period. Concluding this slide, my business operates with credits from suppliers as well as credits for the customers. OPENBRAVO POS was selected from over other 20 testing POS software which were tested to be used in my business. OPENBRAVO POS was the most suitable software because of its simplicity, open source, free software, easygoing, logical and multilateral possibilities of integration. My decision was to integrate OPENBRAVO POS with MySQL database controlled by PHP MyAdmin module. One of the weaknesses of OPENBRAVO POS is weak development of undo functionalities. Sometimes OPENBRAVO users involuntarily conduct some mistakes in the system and using PHP MyAdmin have a possibility to correct these mistakes and return the situation to the normal shape. In this slide, I would like to show how good OPENBRAVO suits my business. I do not have any objections to operations dealing with customers. They are excellent. But the inventory management is very poorly developed. About this aspect I will talk a little bit more soon. Looking at this slide, on the left side you can see all my business needs and on the right side how OPENBRAVO POS can help me with them. So, concluding, OPENBRAVO POS does not enough satisfy my business needs. Especially, there are many insufficiencies of functionalities dealing with inventory, invoices and suppliers. I cannot avoid criticizing the insufficiencies of inventory management from OPENBRAVO POS software. The new coming items can be registered or added to warehouse by using one of these 2 panels, Stock Maintenance Panel or Stock Diary. Briefly speaking about both panels, there are positive sides to mention as well as undeveloped features. Stock Maintenance Panel, positive aspects. All items are added to database with the same date time, which helps mostly to create inventory report grouping information by date time. By submitting items to database, a ticket is printed with quantity of items added to database. Negative aspects are: there is no any total of each item, which needs to multiply its units with new buying price in the panel or in the printed ticket. There is no any grand total of all items value in the panel or in the printed ticket. There is no way how to update new buying price, it reflects only old buying price registered before. There is not developed a quick way how to add a new product without leaving this panel. Stock diary panel. Positive aspects: there is a developed possibility to add a new buying price of product. Better search engine which is looking for items by different criteria. But negative aspects are significant for not choosing this method to register new items in warehouse. Only one item can be added by date time session, what makes it difficult to create an appropriate inventory report. One thing, no any confirming ticket is printed, which may confuse if items were registered or not. Concluding this slide, stock maintenance panel is better developed, but its negative aspects made the situation of creation of double work during the registration of new items in database. The tickets printed by stock maintenance panel might significantly help controlling the work of inventory management if to add them to invoices provided by suppliers. In this slide, I wanted to show how insufficiencies of stock maintenance panel double the work of employees. Firstly, the employee who is registering the new incoming items to warehouse needs first to check and update the items in product panel. In case if there are new products, need to do the same in product panel to register new items. And after that, the employee must proceed to stock maintenance panel and to add items to warehouse. Suppliers deliver new products during different parts of the day. There are two shifts in working of employees. Very often one employee begins to update or introduce new items in warehouse, and during the next shift this process should be finalized. Very often such situation brings confusion in updating products, double checks, and of course mistakes easily happen. Yeah, I tried to find a suitable solution in the OpenBravo forums. I was discussing individually with independent developers about how to improve inventory management, but the best support is when you help yourself. I do not know anything about Java language to make changes in root of source OpenBravo POS. And one day I had decided to develop a web application which would help to improve inventory management, which would connect to the same database as OpenBravo POS. During the development process, I decided, besides improving inventory management, to add to my module control tool the invoices, current balance with suppliers, and to improve other insufficiently developed tools in OpenBravo POS. To achieve my goal, I selected Google Chrome as display of my module built with language of PHP, jQuery, and Ajax, connecting to the same MySQL database of OpenBravo POS located in localhost. The main task I put in front of myself was to create a module with similar design as OpenBravo POS software, which my employees feel familiar and comfortable with. For better understanding of my developed module, I will start with the roots of the module, and I will talk about installation process first in order to see what modification of database will be required. This is the first installation page. It is required the data which would connect the module to my SQL database used by OpenBravo POS. By pressing Install button, the standard OpenBravo POS MySQL database will be updated with new tables. The database was updated with 4 new tables: contacts table, invoice table, suppliers table, suppliers diary table. The single intervention to the standard database was updating stock diary table with new 3 columns: supplier column, invoice column, people column. Yeah, I have added people column in order to have control which new items employee added into database, which invoices that employee added, and how much money paid off to the supplier. Concluding, the database was minimum affected by updating of the PHP module, which does not disturb the logic and work of OpenBravo POS software. In other words, it means OpenBravo POS software can continue independently to operate, being not affected by my module PHP OpenBravo POS. By clicking yellow link, click here. The application will be redirected to a very common interface which looks similar with OpenBravo POS software. By clicking the administrator user, a password will be required. The password is not the same as in OpenBravo POS software, but it is a valid code associated with the users in OpenBravo POS. In this slide, you can see what code I speak about. In my case, I printed labels to all users of OpenBravo POS software in order to give an access to my module to my employees. After login, it is needed to finalize the last settings. It is needed to fill in the following empty fields. PC name. It is a PC host of OpenBravo POS software. In case you have several computers connected to the same database, then there is a possibility to choose the needed station. Application name. I gave the name of my module PHP OpenBravo POS, but I have possibility to change my mind and name it in another way. Currency field. It is easy to put some currency symbols or name which would be applied within module. Also, there is a possibility to add a logo text and main text to the module interface. Fields were filled in like this. By submitting button install, the changes are already visible. So finally, welcome to Advanced Stock Maintenance. It looks much similar with Stock Maintenance panel from OpenBravo POS software, but at the same time there are many new features present there. The most important elements are these features. I can add new invoice. I can pay off the supplier for new products or supplier debt. I can add quick a new product without leaving this page. Also, there are some other important features hidden in the menu button, which I will talk about in the other video presentations. A new and important element of this page is the invoice panel. I will continue to explain more about it. In this slide is an example of how looks like an invoice received from supplier together with products delivered to the shop. There are 5 important elements besides item from them: supplier name, invoice number, total value of all items, discount if there is any present there, and grand total, which is a sum of money expected to pay off. After registering the invoice in database, it will appear in the invoice panel, which would much help to understand if the new items were correctly added to database. It is very important if these two totals should be identical. In this case, the registration of the new items was excellent done. Finally, we'll proceed to real video presentation of my module in action.